Good morning, guys. So the first thing I want to do is apologise for how long it's been since I last did a YouTube. I think it's been 4 weeks because I'm now 7 weeks out and my last one was 11 weeks. So it's been 4 weeks and I'm really sorry. I thought I would have had a bit more content by now, but I think I've just spent the last month working a lot and we've been trying to organise the house, which it still needs a lot done. So just each day I thought I'd be able to get some content. I just wasn't able to. So today is Saturday the 7th of August. Tomorrow then will be 7 weeks out from my competition. So I thought I would film a wee bit of content today and tomorrow just to make like a weekend again. So today is a training day. We'll do push this afternoon. I have 2 push rotations. It's probably the more difficult of the 2 and the one that is regressing quite a bit on prep, but I'll still show you a little bit of it. I think the last time I did this video I was about 57.8 kilos, I think, looking back. Today I'm 54.3 kilos, so it's a significant difference. So I'll do a check-in tomorrow morning and I'll show you guys that. But yes, I'm looking and feeling a lot leaner. I'm struggling with hunger. The food was dropped quite low a couple of weeks ago, and when that first happened I really struggled, but I've got a bit more used to it. And we are trying to taper our cardio towards what shifts I'm doing. Taper wasn't the right word. Manipulate what cardio I do depending on work. And when I do night shifts I was able to have an extra meal, which really helped just because I was awake longer. But didn't seem to affect my progress in terms of weight drops and things. So yes, today is a push day, which I'll do in the afternoon, but I'm going to go and do my cardio now, fasted, and then come back, have some food, and I have a few errands to do today, getting my nails done today as well, and then tomorrow is a rest day. So I'll still do some cardio in the morning, and then I'm actually getting a weave put in tomorrow, which I've wanted for ages, and I thought it would be ideal to do it just before my show. I actually have a photo shoot in 3 weeks, so I was a bit scared that I'm not ready for, but I think it'll be great to have my hair ready for that, and then yeah, I need to get outfits and things organised. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to stop waffling on and go and do my cardio. Forgot to say, I've actually started checking my blood sugar every morning. So I'm going to do that now, do it fasted. I must say the instructions that came with this kit were horrendous. And I think the only reason I know how to do it is because I have a medical background. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a notion. So trying to set this up, I have no idea. I'm just winging it the way I think that it gets done by the nurse in work. Anyway. Also, my finger's kind of sore from doing it yesterday. Anyway. So, let's see, which finger should I choose today? Ow. Never ready for that. It's not even really bleeding. That's shocking. I think I'm gonna have to prick myself again. It was more painful, so that, oh, yep, definitely more blood. Right, it's reading. Blood sugar is 5.5, perfect. So yes, Meg has developed these new Google Sheet check-in sheets that I started using yesterday. It makes my OCD so happy. So I need to fill in my sugar on that, but it has so many different variables that even weren't in our original check-in, and it's really good for her, but also for us, just to see everything. And I could put all your training into it as well, which I wouldn't have shown her before. So yeah, I'm looking forward to sort of the depth of feedback that we can get from that new sheet. But yes, I'm gonna put my blood sugar in to that 5.5. Yes. Anyway, so I'm gonna go and do my cardio now, and then I will see you guys later. So it is 8:30 in the morning. I've just made my first meal, which is, sorry, I make it on autopilot and you can't even think. 1 whole egg, 4 egg whites, and then I add some tomato. So I make that into an omelette and then add the tomato on the side, and I'm also having a large black coffee. My second coffee of today so far. I was trying to show you my food, but it doesn't look the best, but anyway, so you saw just before that what supplements I take in the morning. I think I've probably been over this before. So I take Join-In because a couple of years ago I had really bad problems with knee pain. I think that was from overtraining legs with an old coach that I had. It was legs all the time and my knees just couldn't cope, but I find it really helpful. I take a Hydromax in the morning, a scoop of that, and then I take that 2 further times in the day if I'm training, 1 more time if I'm not. And then I have vitamin C every morning, and then I showed you my little box with my supplements in it. It probably seemed like quite a lot of tablets to be taking, but there's not just supplements in there. So basically I have Crohn's, and was diagnosed with that when I was 20, so that's 10 years ago. Yes, I turned 30 recently, which I'm trying to avoid. So I was diagnosed 10 years ago, basically ended up in hospital with tummy pain, and they did a few different investigations, and that's how it was picked up. Bit of a shock at the time. Nobody in my family had anything wrong with their health really. There was nothing that ran in the family, nothing like that. Basically what Crohn's is inflammation of the bowel. Well, it can actually happen in any part of your body in terms of your gastrointestinal tract. So it can be your mouth, it can affect your mouth, it can affect your esophagus, your stomach, your bowel, but it's mostly bowel. But you can also get eye problems, joint problems as well. So I've been quite lucky in that I haven't really had any eye problems or joint problems. You can also get skin problems, so I haven't had any of that. So touch wood, I've been very lucky. Basically mine affects my small bowel or my small intestine, and I have 3 areas of narrowing, which probably need an operation for, but I'm trying to put it off because from my experience as a doctor and a surgeon, once you operate on somebody with Crohn's, they end up needing another operation and another operation. You usually get a bit of time between them, but I just wouldn't want to. I'm trying to hold off starting that process, which is probably a bit silly, and as a medical professional I should probably know better, but when it comes to your own health sometimes you think differently. But I've known I've had these narrowings for a number of years and I've been okay, but how I manage it is medication. So take quite a few tablets, but I also have to inject myself every fortnight with basically a very strong immunosuppressive drug. I started that I think a couple of years ago, and since I've been on that, like, I feel like things are quite well controlled. The kind of deal was that if it didn't start controlling it, then I would have an operation. And I think an operation will eventually happen, but hopefully I can sustain things for a while. So yes, inject myself every fortnight with this medication, but obviously it has side effects, which is that you're really damage your immune system. And if I'm ever off work, it's not usually because of my Crohn's, it's usually because I have like a chest infection, or I'm quite prone to picking up a bug. But I feel like since I've been on it, my energy levels have been great. I used to really struggle with fatigue, and that was before I did bodybuilding. I would have to nap every afternoon after university. I was exhausted all the time, and really struggled. So I feel like my energy has been 10 times better. But yeah, but then I take other medication. Like I get a lot of acid reflux now. And I've been on an antacid medication for years, and that all started once I started taking steroids in my first flare-up. But anyway, so I thought I would talk about what it's like to have sort of a chronic illness and compete. And obviously I haven't competed yet, but basically the other way I manage as well as medication is diet. So I basically eat a low fibre diet, and I have done that for 10 years. I've got used to what I can have and what I can't have. Because if you have something very fibrous, it's very hard for the body to break it down, and then what can happen is something that's high fibre will get stuck in one of these areas of narrowing in my bowel and cause a blockage, and then I end up admitted as an emergency, maybe need emergency surgery, which is not ideal. You want to have your operation on an elective basis, not an emergency basis. So I have a low fibre diet for 10 years. I do not eat anything wholemeal. I can't eat nuts, I can't eat most fruits, though I have noticed I've been able to eat a few more different types of fruit since being on the injecting medication. And there's a lot of veg. I can't have any veg that's green. It just seems to have a higher fibre content. And people would say that must be a nightmare for prep, because you obviously, or bodybuilding in general, you want to bulk up your food with vegetables. So yeah, it is harder. And trying to be healthy and not being able to eat things that are whole grain or whatever. But I have found things that I can have instead. I just put up with it. I deal with it. I've spent 10 years dealing with it, so I know what I can have and what I can't have. And whenever I first started with Meg, obviously I told her about this and what I could eat and what I couldn't eat, and we developed a plan which has everything on it that I can have and still things that I like. So yeah, I think the hardest parts is, first of all, getting a diet plan that suits, and having a coach who will listen to what, because I've had coaches in the past put things into the diet and I've said, if I eat that, I will be in hospital, but it doesn't seem to register. Fatigue, but with the medication I'm on, it doesn't seem to be a problem. And everything is fairly well controlled, but there are risks that you can get an arthritis from it and so on, so I just need to look after my joints and look after myself. And if I find myself getting too exhausted or starting to feel run down, then I have to pull back on things, rest more and so on. And during the week there I had a stomach bug, and I had to take 2 or 3 days off cardio, steps, training. I couldn't even eat. I only, and I felt a bit like, am I ruining my prep? But I think that was my body's way of saying you're doing too much, because I was also working night shift. And in discussion with Meg, rest became an absolute priority, and it always should be. So I just wanted people to know that it is very possible to do bodybuilding, do prep, having a health condition, but you need to make sure your health condition is being managed as best it can before you embark on anything. And I think especially if you have a condition that affects your bowel or your GI tract, because food is so important and such a focus in this sport. So it is very possible to do it, but you need to make sure that you're looking after yourself, making rest a priority. Just knocked my glasses. Making rest a priority when it needs to be, looking after yourself, communicating with your coach. If you have a coach that ignores you telling them that you have something physically, a health problem, move to someone else, because they need to have it in mind. Every client is different and they can't treat everybody the same. But it is very possible, and if anybody ever wants any advice or hear about my experience, then I am happy to give it. I just realised how long this part of the video is, but I just wanted to let people know that it is very possible. You don't have to be someone who has no health problems and really fit and healthy, and to be able to do this. You can work around it, but you need to speak to your coach and even speak to your doctor if you've questions that they can answer. But you shouldn't be excluded from doing things because you have a health problem. I don't know what the future holds, and for me, but I'm just doing my best and make sure I am adhering to my medication. I look after myself, and do everything that I can to manage it. And if it starts to feel unmanaged, then I pull back. And communication with your coach is so important. Anyway, I'm going to have my first meal because very shortly we have a team Zoom, which we do every Saturday morning, and I'm very excited. So I will see you later. So just done my push session. I've shown you my top sets for the 6 exercises that I did. I'm sorry that the angle is awkward. I don't really have time to think about setting it up because the gym closes at 4 and it's 5 to 4 now, so just wanted to get it done. And then I did 2 rounds of abs and some stretching. And as you know, I had my cardio done this morning. Sorry, I'm breathless. The session was really hard. It's the hardest one I find out of my 6 sessions that I do at the minute. I think push regresses first for almost everyone on prep, and then I always found it tough even when I wasn't deep in prep. I actually got a PB on everything except for the that incline chest press machine. I really struggled. I had to put the weight down by quite a bit and still didn't get the reps that I got last time, which kind of messes with your head a wee bit because I'm like, why did I improve on everything else? But it happens, and I'm really lucky to be over 10 weeks into a deficit and still getting PBs on everything bar 1 exercise, so it shouldn't bother me. It still felt hard. I still felt like I was working, so and things are going to decline. It's an unstable movement, you know. The joints that you use in push are small. Trying to keep your core tight, and in a deficit it's hard. I'm starting to think maybe I had the seat set a little bit low as well, so I might lift that up next time just to see if that helps. But I'm not making excuses. It just felt like I was sitting a bit low. But anyway, so that's that done. And as I say, it's approaching 4 p.m, so I'm going to go home and have my post-workout meal, which is, I love it, cereal with protein. And I have chocolate protein and mix it with water and pour it on like milk, and it's so good. So yes, going to have that. And then I'll have 2 more meals to have, and then I'm literally going to chill out. And then tomorrow I'll do my check-in and I get my weave done as well. And then all my meal prep because I start my new job on Monday. So yeah. Tomorrow is a rest day. I don't really like rest days, but they are necessary. I'm always hungrier and a bit bored, but they're necessary. So anyway, yeah. morning, everyone. So it is Sunday the, I don't know, it's the 8th of August, I think. Anyway, and it's around 10 a.m. So I have just shown you my check-in from this morning. Weighed in at 54.3 kilos. I've been that weight the past 3 days, but my last check-in, which was on Wednesday, was 54.7, so there's 0.4 off. So that's a total of over 6 kilos off in prep so far. We are 7 weeks out today. Very excited, a bit nervous. I know my posing needs a little bit of work, so I'm a wee bit nervous about that, but I'm definitely miles better than I was when I look back at the start of prep. So check-in was sent. The lovely OCD Google sheet was populated and sent to Meg, which makes me really happy. I've done my cardio this morning, 20 minutes on the bike. I usually do Stairmaster, but occasionally I do the bike just for a wee change. I did some stretching in the gym as well, and I've had my first meal, and I'm just in the middle of prepping a few meals for the rest of the day. And then I'm going to go and get my weave put in about an hour's time, so I am so excited for that. And I can't wait to have that done. But something amazing happened this morning. Meg said that we are going to run a refeed, which is the magic word to make me smile. So I'm still waiting for her to send through what exactly that's going to involve, how long that's going to go on for and so on, but I'm so excited, and I think I need it because I often ask people, what does it mean what do people mean when they say I feel flat? I don't know what that meant. I felt flat this morning in my check-in. You just know. I can't really describe it in words, but you just know what it means whenever you feel it. And I looked flat. And the refeed is to fill me up before we start to try and push down a bit more to get into stage condition. But 7 weeks to go, 10.5 weeks done, so well over the halfway. So yes, it's starting to get really fun and interesting now, seeing the changes, and I'm sure the refeed will make me very happy. But yes, and then I'm going to get my hair done. I'm then going to go and visit my mum and dad because I haven't seen them for a wee while. And then prep my food for work as I'm starting my new job tomorrow, 12 days in a row, yay. So I'm going to have to sit and plan on my training and my food and things with that. I'll take the dogs out at some point as well and just try and chill later before work tomorrow. The new job is about a 45-minute drive, whereas I'm used to working 20-minute drive away, so need to try and make sure rest and recovery is even more on point. So anyway, thank you very much for everyone that listened to this. I'm sorry that some of it was a bit waffly. I just wanted to include something different rather than just my training and check-in, and talk about my Crohn's, and hopefully people find it interesting or useful. And if you have any questions about it or anything at all, just ask me here or on Instagram, and please subscribe to my channel. It makes me feel so happy, and I will try and do another video sooner than 4 weeks which is what I've just done. So I'll try my best, but we'll see. It all depends on work and things. But anyway, thank you.